I've looked at some absolutely terrible houses while investing in real estate, and I just walked one today that made me want to make this video real quick and just tell you some of the horror stories, some of the situations, unfortunately, I've seen people living. We'll start with number one. This was on the south side of Indianapolis, a duplex that I was looking at, which actually, sadly enough, I would have bought if I could go back in time, but that is what it is. As I walked into this unit, the floor was about 80% covered in animal feces and urine. Um, Always be prepared when you're walking some of these units. It's a good idea to wear foot covers and have a flea spray and pretty much anything that you can protect yourself with. Um, and then the person that was in there, when I walked in and saw the conditions, they said to me, "Somebody borrowed our mop. I'm sorry." Um, it was going to take a little more than a mop to get that all cleaned up. This was a one bedroom, so I went back and looked in the bedroom, and they said, "Oh yeah, and we're babysitting somebody's cats." There was about 8 to 10 cats in there in the bed in a small bedroom. So again, that's just the way some people live. Um, I get it, but that was just one unfortunate, nasty situation that I don't want to be in again. But being a real estate investor, you will run into things like that. So just be prepared for the worst of the worst. But today, my business partner had found a Facebook lead of a potential fiveplex. When I pulled up, I knew immediately it wasn't zoned for a fiveplex. I didn't know exactly if it was single family or multifamily. The agent told me that it was zoned as just single family, but it could be up to 7 units. We went upstairs to kind of an attic space that was completely gutted. It needed a lot of work, but the real crazy stuff started when we went downstairs, and basically they had chopped a bedroom up into three um, closet-sized, well, bedroom like studios almost. Very ran down, maybe 20 plus years since anybody has did anything to these units. So the tenants, their kind of theory was on it is like, well, we don't have nowhere to go. This is a place to go. The rent's cheap, and in return, the slumlord that owns it doesn't make any repairs. That's not how I operate, and I don't like to operate like that. The tenants have said that the health department's been called, so hopefully that situation works itself out. We went into another unit, which was all right, and then one of the units refused to let us in and look at the unit. She said she's going through an eviction. She wasn't given notice, and she was being real aggressive. Don't ever put yourself in that situation to go look at a unit like that. Just move on. And if you still are considering buying that property, just consider the worst of the worst, maybe a gut job. From what we could tell anyways, that we'd have to completely gut this, rezone this, and the price just didn't match. I think they wanted 100. It would have been about 120 in rehab. They're about 220 in. The max of that house would be worth completely rebuilt basically is probably about 220, and it just the numbers wasn't there. So move on to the next one. Like I said, health department's been called by the tenants um, to take care of that situation. So hopefully it gets better for sure. But there are slum lords out there. But I also want people to understand that most of your landlords or home providers actually do care about their tenants and their properties, and will get things fixed accordingly. Um, so yeah, that's just some of the things that you're going to run into as a real estate investor. You will see the worst of the worst, and sometimes it's a lot worse than you ever think it's going to be, and you have to just prepare yourself for that. But on the other side, there's a lot of good people that need opportunities and nice places to live, and that's kind of where I get my thing, is I can provide a house to maybe somebody that might be on the streets otherwise. Try to keep rent affordable. I don't overdo my units. I keep them pretty basic for I can rent them out for a lower price and help provide affordable housing. But um, I get comments all the time about how even me being an affordable person that I'm a terrible person. So whatever, be prepared for that too, because the comments will fill up with that landlord are evil people and nobody should own property. I don't know how to do it otherwise. System's always broke. But if you have any suggestions, if you like real estate content, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, and I'll share some more positive stuff hopefully on the next video. Thanks for watching.